So Barack Obama now warning about this thing, the iPad. Did you hear that speech?
No.
Over the weekend, he gives a commencement speech at Hampton University. A lot of information coming at you with your iPod, your iPad, Nintendo. Overwhelming, the information, getting confusing. Shut up. You know, when he was running, he was Jimmy Neutron. Now all of a sudden he's, the magic think box might be too much. Shut up. What do you got there? It looks like Norma Desmond.
Sunset Boulevard.
Now, Gloria Swanson, you know whose mistress that was, and indeed, he put it in his wife Rose's face incessantly, was the patriarch of the Kennedy clan, Joe Kennedy. When he would go out, you forget now we have the 24/7 news cycle on Page 6 and Gossip Rags and TMZ, but back then the coast wasn't quite as synced up with the other coast, and he used to actually take her out to dinner and to premieres, Gloria Swanson. And he was married to Rose Kennedy back in Hyannisport, but she had made that deal with the devil that some of the Kennedy women did, that she would afford him his space, and he took it up. Now you look at her there, I guess when she was young she must have been quite a beauty, but obviously that her most famous portrayal as Norma Desmond at the end, and she was so stunning in that. Billy Wilder, what a bitter sense of humor. I mean, funny, but rough. Anyway, Bathrobe session 116 now in order, and first up we have Michael from Arvada, Colorado. I remember when the Spanish Arvada fought the Brits in their wooden ships. Oh, a couple of weeks ago I went to New York City on business. Drug mule? One evening we went to an Italian restaurant called Babbo in Greenwich Village and really enjoyed it. Every third door in the village is the best Italian restaurant you've ever gone to in your life. It's just crazy. You get down near Mulberry Street and those joints near Little Italy, it's unbelievable. I really enjoyed it. I know you go to the Big Apple and enjoy the dining. What are your top 5 favorite restaurants in the city? Wow, cool. Well, my favorites are Per Se, which is Thomas Keller's East Coast haunt, and that's high-end. That's pretty expensive. He's the guy who owns the French Laundry up here in California. Down in L.A., Bouchon, and his haunt in New York is Per Se. It's up at Columbus Circle. It's the best restaurant on the planet, probably. Then, you know, my favorite Italian is Il Mulino, M-U-L-I-N-O. It's owned by my friend Jerry Katzoff. It's down at West 3rd. And indeed, when Barack Obama and Bill Clinton had their last presidential summit, they closed down Il Mulino for the afternoon and ate there. Now, when Clinton and Obama can pick wherever they want on the planet, and it's theirs, and they pick Il Mulino, that'll tell you. Let's see, steak joint. I like that place, Peter Luger's, out in Brooklyn. That is some serious carnivore city there. Sushi, I'm just a Nobu guy like anybody else, and it's tough to beat Nobu. I know it's become synonymous with sushi, but where are you going to beat Nobu? And then I dig that place, and I don't know what it's called, but it's where they serve the crabs with the red pepper on them. You know, where they dump a whole bunch of crabs on a. It's somewhere down on Lower 5th. Or Lower Broadway, I believe it is, in the 30s maybe. They come out and they just throw a bunch of Lopelia crabs on your table on top of the newspaper, and then you have that red, like Lowry seasoned salt that you put on top of it, and you crack it, and you break their groin and strip this out, and then there's like a little piece of meat. It's almost like chasing a beautiful girl in college. You remember how you were like absolutely avaricious for her by the time she'd go out with you because you'd work so hard. These crabs, you go through all this sturm and drag, and then there's this one little strand of meat, but when you dip it in that red stuff, and oh, it is a Eucharistic experience. So I'd say those are my top 5. But what, there's top 5,000 there, right? Tough to go wrong in New York City. Enjoy these samples of the Bathrobe Sessions, a weekly video available only to members of the DMZ, the Dennis Miller Zone, on DennisMillerRadio.com.